All right. Wait, does this mean we're live? It totally means we're live, right? We're live. This is Kona Coffee. I'm just excited about it. If you've been watching the news, then you know that today is the day we're doing whiskey for whiskey enthusiasts or something. I think there's some kind of elections going on. I think there's some kind of viruses going around, and I think there's some kind of blah, 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 blah happening. But at the end of the day, all of that doesn't matter because you're going to sit down with us and we're going to enjoy some whiskey.
Whoa. You went
I know what you're thinking.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, hey everybody.
Double fisting.
Hope you're all doing well. Hey. Toll, what's up, man? But yeah, so welcome to today's show. We're gonna be talking about some
whiskey for whiskey enthusiasts.
Whiskey for whiskey enthusiasts. Like basically talk about beginners. How about what most of our audience I think is more whiskey enthusiasts. Hey Burberlands, what's you guys doing?
Oh yeah.
So Wally, since you took a
house.
sip first, what is in your glass?
What did I post a picture of? Oh, it's Glen Talkers. So Glen Talker single cast. I think it's like 62%. It is first fill sherry cast bought at the distillery, and it was actually we bought it at the Strathisla distillery.
We buy the Strathisla?
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, because we stopped the Strathisla right there because we got the haggis grilled cheese right up the street.
Ooh, that's
good. I remember all of our Scotland trip based on the food I was eating. So this is the Glen Talkers 11-year with first fill sherry.
I'm surprised we didn't do like a food blog the whole time.
I did. Mine got published on. Mine got published on Denver and Lively's website.
Oh yeah, true. It did, didn't it?
Haggis 100 ways.
Dude, that was so good. I missed it. I wonder what's Bourbon Country gonna be like? What, is it barbecue?
I don't know. Kentucky. Kentucky's not really known for barbecue. They're known for Bourbonlands. What is Kentucky known for food wise?
Yeah, Bourbonlands. Let us know.
Fried chicken. Why didn't I think of that?
Could be fried chicken. Yeah.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
So today.
Oh, they're known for eating horses. That's gross.
Damn. Oh well. That'd be a bit too tough. I guess great, just super hard to catch.
We'll try it.
So
you can catch haggis in the wild.
Oh, man. Whoa. It's like,
what? I don't think that's how any of this works.
Sure, Gregor.
That's so good. I'm stoked.
Coming out with a 4013. You gonna get a dram full?
Yes. No. He's teasing me because he needs my help to get that bottle to his house. It's fine. I'm not buying a bottle of that.
I have no clue what.
Let me know the next time they do another Bruichladdich.
Yeah.
Fried chicken. Oh no, hot.
What's hot brown?
Hot brown? I don't know what that is. Hot fried chicken is like that's not Tennessee. Where's Hattie's? Is that Tennessee? Is that Memphis? That's Memphis. That is Tennessee. That's not Kentucky.
And then you have two glasses. So is it two things in your glass?
Yeah, the other one is actually a glass I had left over on my desk from 2 days ago, and I just wanted to see if the flavor changed a lot, and it did.
Was it
Bianca,
open?
what's up?
Was it like open, or were you kind of?
No, I had something on top of it, but
gotcha.
Obviously the flavor's not so deteriorated that it's gross, but it's definitely not what it was, which is
gotcha.
Jack Daniel's single.
Sorry, I'm trying to look for the bottles.
Ooh, open-faced turkey sandwich. Oh, that sounds good.
Is that what it is?
Oh, skip the tomatoes, but man, turkey and a ton of gravy on top of that. Oh, that sounds good.
So,
especially if it's like Texas toast. No offense, Kentucky.
Yeah, I do like the big
Texas toast is delicious, man.
Yeah, I know. Especially like if it's garlic bread, like the big garlic.
Yes.
Anyway, any bottles you picked up? I'm looking around.
Heck yes, I picked up new bottles.
Yeah.
If you guys, I know it's the social media thing to say. I feel so old when I say things like this because it's like a young person social media thing to say.
What do you mean?
But Instagram saw it first.
Oh.
So I'll show you both the bottles. I picked up two bottles. So one, of course, everybody saw the Glenmorangie Cadball.
Yeah.
Which I still haven't given a fair chance because I have been sick for a while and now allergies have kicked in, which is a whole different issue.
Coronavirus, maybe?
And so I have the coronavirus, so I'm gonna get Lyme disease, so I can put the two together because Corona and Lyme's perfect. So here's the Cadball Estate, which is the new 15-year from Glenmoe. When I first tasted it, it tasted like an apple orchard, which I thought was delicious. But then I ate some dexamethamphetamines and some cough syrup, and then all of a sudden this tasted like weird mint grossness.
Really?
And so it tasted like some kind of medicine. It was really gross. And the second bottle, okay, I went to my local store, and my dude, who usually hooks me up with good stuff, was like, hey, I got this new bottle in. He said, I was watching another YouTuber and I was already offended. He said, I was watching another YouTuber and he said in a lineup that he tasted this against Pappy and a couple other bottles. And he said this was even better than Pappy. And
And Gumbo.
I said, okay, I will buy the bottle. It's this right here. Woodenville.
For reals?
This tastes nothing like Pappy. Okay. I am a huge Pappy 23 fan. What part of this was better than Pappy? One, it tastes young. No offense, Woodenville. This you can taste the youngness to it.
People like that, man.
It has
That's
that rye, grassy note in it.
A lot of hype.
And then, yeah, it's got some vanilla and caramel, but nothing like the creme brulee French vanilla that's in Pappy. So, whatever.
Maybe it's different batches. They do different batches.
Do they?
Yeah.
This is just straight bourbon whiskey.
Yes.
It doesn't say any kind of.
That's what I'm saying. Like they do some commemorative bottles.
Oh, smaller batches, bigger dreams. Yeah, maybe one of their batches was amazing because all the stuff that's claimed that it tastes like, it didn't.
Pagoose is saying barrel picks are way better than that batch.
This is creme brulee, spice cabinet, caramel, dark chocolate, vanilla bean. No, and more no. So I don't know who's drinking when they
bottle for me till May.
They didn't put the label on all the way. Look at this. It's
yeah,
all
man. Gregor, I'm with you. I'm trying to figure out some larceny barrel because I don't think I'm getting that for a while.
The bottle can be used to crush skulls. I know that you people who are down in hate of eating the brains of your enemy. So yes, it can be used for that. Oh, picks are way better than batch. I believe you.
Pick their
no new bottles for you till May.
Picks, man.
Nice. See, I didn't think that I'd be buying any new bottles either because I mean I spent $3,200 the other day on some bottles. But then when my store guy, when he calls me, I'm just like, all right, I'll be there.
It builds a repertoire. It builds like relationship.
Correct. That relationship. It's expensive.
Yeah. Is that
doing a pick there soon? Yeah, just the 2 bottles.
Oh.
I mean, and some Kona coffee, but I didn't think anybody cared about Kona coffee. This is legit. Because I know the store owner of Vigilante, and like he went to Hawaii to go visit the farm.
My wife loves their stuff.
Then he took pictures with the guy who owns the farm over there, and then he made a card. He makes a card for every farm that he goes to. Actually, it's pretty
really?
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, he actually does a really good job marketing like the coffees that he goes and
that's real cool.
And sources himself. Yeah.
So yeah,
Chris, he's a cool guy.
Last week,
you can order this online.
Last week I was lucky enough to be invited, and I thought it was gonna be more like a press release kind of tasting kind of thing. But and then you've heard of Filson before, but I have never have. So it was interesting going.
Yeah, Filson. Oh my gosh, their bags are so nice.
Really nice. And
wax canvas bags.
And Westland came out with a brand new whiskey called Coldfoot.
Oh, you did get it.
Yep. So I did pick it up. It was given to me by the marketing people there.
That's fine. How is it?
So, not for me. And I put it there, and I put it in my review on Monday's post. It was more peat-like, so the iodine Isla peat.
Oh, that's right. You said it did peated. I think that's why I was like, nope.
Their peated malt, which is more of a smoky malt, and then they have a winter expression that's more like campfire smoke than anything.
Okay.
It is light, so if you are, let's say, if I was going a beginner into peat, this would be perfect. This is not like a Lefroy 10 that will burn your face off right off the bat. This is more like, I would say, an 18-year-old or higher because it's very light. So.
Ooh. Bourbon Liz just interviewed them. And of course, if Fred Minnick says it's good, then everybody and their grandmother's going to go buy tons. I don't understand that guy.
Is that who the person was?
Who, Fred Minnick? He's a bourbon hipster. I don't understand that guy.
Is that the person that you're
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what YouTube he was watching, and I'm afraid to ask. I don't want to know.
But since you guys are watching this in March, I can probably release it. On March 12, Westland's actually coming out with a new barrel fill. It's in Marsala casks. And this is one of, I think, 3 or less barrels in their warehouse using this. It was a big experiment. They got somebody that was local to come pick it. They enjoyed that one. So March 12th, you guys will see that. If you guys are in that Seattle, Pacific Northwest area, you'll be able to pick that up.
No, wow.
But yeah.
Yeah, Christian, because I always wanted to be a hipster.
He looks like a hipster, man. It's fine.
I'm nothing like a hipster.
Yes, I did.
I look like a homeless man.
Gregor, thanks for sharing that love. It was really interesting to see how they like that as well.
Did you catch any save the dates?
What? Save the dates? No, STDs, Scotch test dummies.
Trying out Wanderbacks? Yeah. Oh.
And then
did they do it live while you're there?
I think it was Sunday. And then I also went to a non-whiskey event, which I did a lot of whiskey things with. Old Delicious, which is a
sounds good.
Yeah, brandy aged in ex bourbon casks.
Mm-hmm.
They were just making this brandy and they didn't know where to put it, and then they just had in agreement. Hood River Distillers kind of bought McCarthy's, and they used the barrels from, I think it's Trail Distilling, and they dumped it in there, and they left it, forgot it for a while, and then every time someone came by, there's like, hey, try this, and then eventually became a crowd favorite there, and then they got permission to bottle it this year. So
what's it taste like?
Basically it tastes like vanilla gingery apple brandy. So I would see, very similar to, I want to say Glenfiddich 12, but you know Glenfiddich always gives that apple.
Yeah, it's very strong. Apple and pear.
It's that. But just for you guys over in chat, there are some crazy things happening at McCarthy's right now, which is Clear.
You said they just got bought out. Does everybody know that?
Yeah, so they got bought out. I think it was like 3-4 years ago. It's old.
Okay,
it's a long time ago. And they have some amazing things that we cannot discuss, but it's definitely in my wheelhouse. If you guys know that. But they're
now that we know that it's finished with a after dinner aperitif type wine.
So it's adjacent. It's adjacent to that. So yeah, I can't say anything more. They kind of just looked at me and just like, oh, I guessed it right. And you know, like, look, when you guess something right, yeah, I took it at that. But I'll be trying to do more stuff. If Wally does come down, I heard that we have a range of
$500 airline tickets.
So, yeah, man, don't worry about it. I paid that to go over to you. All right. But yeah, so great things over at Hood River with Clear Creek. So I know a lot of you guys actually messaged saying, hey, what's coming out? Sadly, nothing new yet, but hopefully soon. So if you guys do like McCarthy's Whiskey, please leave a comment below, because they're actually looking at social media to kind of drive this push with their new sales team. So that's it for me.
I'll go buy a bottle of McCarthy's. I guess it's on to today's topic then.
Yeah. All right.
Wait, is anything in your glass?
It is one of the bottles we'll be talking about.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess we'll be holding off on it then.
Yeah, that Budweiser virus.
I don't know how you wanted to do today's show. I came up with like, tickets are cheap these days with the Budweiser virus. Yeah, no. I guess if that's how it works. Yeah. So I came up with my own criteria for like what whiskeys for whiskey enthusiasts would be.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 bottles. How many bottles do you have, Charles?
I have 4, and one's a group. So 4 plus 1, so 5, because the other one's a group together.
Okay, I'm gonna go first with the weird one then.
Go for it. All right, so
if you're a whiskey enthusiast,
break down what you want or what you're thinking about. With the
that's what I tried to. I picked really, really, really specific bottles for really, really, really specific purposes.
Excited about this.
So if you're a whiskey enthusiast, at some point in time, you're gonna be like, I need to join a club, and not every club is like a club that you can drive to nowadays. Some clubs are online. And so when you join some of the online clubs, some of them are like, hey, let's get together and put our money together and buy a barrel. And then some of these clubs buy lots of barrels. And then so you know where I'm going. So this bottle is the first one that I'm picking up today. So it could be any Scotch Malt Whisky Society bottle, really. But the point of what I'm making is, the point of what I'm making is that if you're a whiskey enthusiast, at some point, you'll probably try to join a club. Some of us 2 or 3. Club, yeah. Some of us, not all the clubs are exciting to us, so we stop going. Even though we keep getting invites on Facebook. I'm probably going to go this Friday. We'll see. Yeah. But it's like a peated whiskey this Friday, so I'm not sure if I want to go. So you'll join a club, they'll buy barrels, and then with that money, you'll buy some of their barrels that they have, and then there you go. So whiskey enthusiasts tend to buy some club picks, and it's just the way it is. Like, it's a natural progression because you want to try new stuff in single barrels or where it's at sometimes.
Yeah, so to add on to Wally, it's basically like, for instance, this one here, a Dalmore. Everyone's tried the 12-year, 15-year, 18-year Dalmore and so on, and they kind of have the same kind of underlying note. But then when you go into these single barrel bottlings of clubs where they kind of either do an own finish or just let it go naturally and not add anything or anything like that.
Oh, natural.
Yeah, so I feel as though that you can do a lot of side-by-sides. You can kind of build your palette up and be like, okay, I know what Dalmore's underlying tones are. What is different or what's unique about this? And then I personally fell more in love with Dalmore when it came to a single barrel. And
actually, that's the only way that Dalmore is really enjoyable.
Yeah, so, and then also, as a whiskey enthusiast, I feel as though that you start ramping up in ABV. So you can kind of maintain what you want to do, and I think Wally's going to talk about that next. But then you can add water or, make it easier for you to go on. So on that note, let's segue.
Nothing wrong with ramping up in ABV. It's just like those single cast bottles that you just got from your club. Abelara Bunit Alba, of course, I'm throwing this in there. This is not my third bottle that I'm drinking. This is my drinking. This is like, it's so good. Like, which is just another word that Denver used in a podcast for people who enjoy alcohol. I didn't know that's an Australian term for just people who like alcohol.
Bourbonlands, it depends on the club.
Yes, it depends on the club, but Scotch Malt Whiskey Society does not do
Yeah.
any coloring and they don't do any chill filtering.
Yep.
They just take it from the barrel and shove it in your face. So yeah, so kicking up the proof, a lot of people do at some point want to go to something higher that's like cast strength. In this case, like 57, or the other one that I had up here was like
Yep.
60. So cast strength, there's a lot of like myths and misconceptions to go along with it. A lot of people are like, oh, more alcohol, so it's got to have more flavor. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes the alcohol is distracting and it actually gets in the way of the flavors.
Yeah, I'm on the fence on that.
But what is true though with cast strength is you can add water to bring it down to a proof point that you find most flavors for your palate, which is
Yes.
absolutely something you want to do because, I mean, your palate is your palate, so you're gonna like it differently than somebody else. So instead of getting like a standard, you know, OB from a distillery that's gonna like, oh look, here's our, whatever thing at 43%, yeah, then you can choose yourself. Like, oh, I like it better at 46, or I like it better at 40, or I like it better at 20. You can do whatever you want with it.
Like, so jumping on that same kind of train, right? So I have the same thing with Glendronach cast strength. Um, it does, for me, it amplifies the sherry from what it is. But then it also gives me the benefit of watering it down a little bit to be like, hey, I don't want to punch in the face today. I want kind of more lighter one. It seems like a lot of
I like a slap in the face, a little slap and tickle.
yeah, sometimes you need that, man. So Gendronix definitely the one I picked on that one just because like I love those notes, and then the strength of like the 12 put up to cast strength is definitely something I'm interested in. So it seems like enthusiasts do really move into that kind of heavy hitting. What, this one's 55%? I don't know, what was yours again?
So 57.1.
Yeah, so you get past that 40 to 45, which is where most beginners kind of start at.
Yeah, I saw somebody complaining about 48 being too low today, and I was like, "What's wrong with you?
I'm like, damn, you drinking
Like,
at like
who
60, 70%?
who hurt you?"
Yeah. Which is, well, you never know. Some of the distillers, like, they can't even taste those things anymore, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, well, a lot of the distillers who are actually mixing, what they do is they bring it all down to 20%, and then they can see all the flavors.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
What's those?
I'm trying to think of a good segue from high proof.
To low proof?
Perhaps if you like high. No, I'll just talk about the next bottle that I had then. So sometimes if you're a whiskey enthusiast, another nice thing is special edition bottles. As a whiskey enthusiast, you'll find yourself sometimes buying special edition bottles, regardless of the fact that there may not be anything all that special about them.
Yeah, I'm like,
or they may be weird. So you buy it more for the sake of like, oh, this is a weird thing. They're not doing this normally, so why don't I buy it and see what it's like? And so you'll find yourself buying weird bottles that, even though they're expensive and even though they're not the greatest tasting bottle you've ever had, you are like, well, it's different. It's done in fermentation casks. This one's done in fermentation casks at 40%, 23-year Glenfiddich, done in a pretty bottle that's black with gold writing. Like this, it's not mind blowing. It's good. It's not mind blowing, but it is like.
It's different, right? Like they have like
different, exactly.
Storm.
Eventually, as a whiskey enthusiast, you've tried so many other things that you're just like, what's different? Like, can I try something weird? Can I try something funky? So you'll start looking for it. In special editions, you'll find a lot of it. Yeah. Generally.
You see the 12's question over there?
What's up with all the whiskey groups being so paranoid about people trading bottles because they don't get shut down? If you're talking about Facebook groups, like Bourbon Secondary Market getting ramped up again. Or like all those other like Macallan groups that somebody added me to, and I'm in like 40 different groups, and they're all like, you can't post prices. You have to just do everything via PM. They're doing it because they don't want to get shut down. As soon as you put a dollar sign up on there, like Facebook starts looking.
Yeah, it's interesting. I noticed that with my post on Monday when I used the word promo code or whatever, that visibility just got shut down for the first 2-3 hours.
Did it really?
And then I just saw.
I saw that you had promo code, but you said that wasn't supplied to you. You just wanted to help people.
Yeah, that's why.
I did read your post. Why did I think I didn't?
They were given pamphlets out to say, "Hey, use this promo code for free shipping," and I'm like, I'm just gonna put it online.
I'm gonna tell everybody about it. Yeah. Why wouldn't I tell?
That's why I said like, "Hey, I wasn't paid for this, but I just want to save you money if you want it." And that's all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Going on the same token of what you were talking about with special editions, I brought one out here, Highland Park full volume. It was I won't say a standard, but it was regularly available. It wasn't
Max 6 for 50.
Super hard to find at that time. But it's something different from what Highland Park were doing.
Yeah, especially because the box actually told you that it was a 17-year-old
Yeah.
on the side. Like it had all of the barrel information, all of the age information. It was a very large departure
Yeah.
from your regular, like, buy our Viking bottle.
Yeah.
It's made with real Vikings blood. Like, and no information
Yeah.
about it.
And
Oh,
then
okay.
you go into like the kind of same thing. So like you got Highland Park volume where like it's a special edition, but it
Don't
was
do it.
regularly
Don't do
available.
it.
And then
Don't do it. Don't do it. The segue. You didn't do. Look.
you have hey, you can bring it too, man, and let Wally talk
Nah,
about
dude.
this. But yeah,
I was just gonna say,
the higher end.
what a perfect segue with that Highland Park full volume is that if you're a whiskey enthusiast, at some point you're gonna find yourself at a distillery trying to get your own hand fill of a bottle that you really want to try.
You haven't
but
tried
you
it
can't
yet?
get anywhere else. What?
Oh, I was like, you got two. So where's the other
Where's
one?
my second bottle?
Where's the other one? Is it done already?
Maybe.
This one's almost done, dude. Like I'm scared. I'm sad. But yes, like you're saying,
I'm saving the second bottle for a special
you
occasion.
do go to distilleries. So let's talk about
60%.
Go for it.
No, I'm just saying, like, at some point, if you're a whiskey enthusiast, you're going to find yourself going to a distillery. Like, you're going to want to. I don't know what Christian is saying. Max 6 for $50? I'll give you $50 for it. If you can give me another Max 6, I will right now. I'll give you $500. Give me 10 of them.
No, I think he's talking about the edition number 6.
No, I think he's talking about Mac Lalique number 6. Let's go with that because there is no edition number 6 yet.
Add a couple zeros to that. But yeah, so,
other one is with Tashi. Yes, Tashi has the other bottle. That's why I said it's all gone.
There you go.
It's probably not all gone yet, but
Tashi.
I did give it to Tashi.
But
because Tashi gave me something crazy also, which I was going to put in this episode, but I decided against it.
Well, it's correct though. Like eventually your passion's going to make you want to do more research, learn more things. That's why I took the trip with you to Scotland last year, and then commemorating that with a bottle and trying it out and actually having a distillery only where I think it was only like maybe a couple hundred bottles or whatever, 572 bottles. So being able to try that out at the distillery was amazing. Or get it at the distillery and try it. So that kind of, I think it solidified my passion for Highland Park because it was such a great time.
It was hard. Yeah, it was hard not to like it. That's what I've always said. Like my perspective of Scotland is super skewed because all these distillery tours and everything's free. Like so much free stuff. It's like I don't know. Do I like Scotland or do I like free stuff?
Yeah, but no, it was a great. I think it was last year they released a bunch of these in this little like sack.
They did.
So a lot of collectors got onto that, enthusiasts got onto that, but other, distilleries do the same thing too. Like Berkelathi does one of theirs that I know you were very big into. Westland does their hand fill, which is a great experiment.
Boona does hand fills.
Yeah. So
Boona's hand fills are freaking delicious.
Yeah. I got two more.
I got 3.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. This next one, if you're a whiskey enthusiast, you're going to find yourself buying independent bottlings, but not just independent bottlings. If you're a real enthusiast, at some point you're going to be doing way too much research, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, this 22-year-old Burnside isn't a Burnside, it's a teaspoon Balvenie. What? And you're going to be like, what's teaspooning? And then you're going to be like, holy crap. Second fill, so Sherry's Hogshead. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. So this is absolutely freaking delicious. Balvenie, single barrel that you'll never get any other way at cask strength.
Yeah, so as Wally noted, like some companies don't even sell single barrels unless you're
unless you put it under a different name.
Or you put it under a name. That's kind of how Scotch Malt Whiskey Society started. They put numbers instead of names.
Yep.
Teaspooning is just adding it, like I said, a teaspoon of another. I think that one is Glenfiddich, right? The teaspoon.
Burnside is Balvenie with a teaspoon of Glenfiddich.
Yeah, so it's like
it's sister distilleries.
It's like 99.99% Balvenie single barrel.
It's like 99.999%.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting thing. I know Wally's been on the hunt for a bunch of those. So if you can help Wally out,
Wardhead or Burnside, I'm always looking.
Go.
Says the guy who's got some Wardheads and Burnsides.
So for me, and you guys can bash me in the chat. That's fine. But I think higher age Japanese whiskeys are going to be more for the enthusiast. People say it's super light, easy drinking. Yes, that is true. But like,
holy crap, is that a Yamazaki 50 year?
No. The Taki 17.
That would have been $380,000.
You can start understanding how air in the bottle actually changes this. So I've had a friend that bought a bottle earlier, cracked it open, tastes totally different from this one that's been like 4 or 5 years. But once you get higher in the Japanese age statements, I feel as though as an enthusiast, you can pull in more unique and very delicate flavors compared to a beginner who would just drink and be like, oh, it's 1 note or 2 note. And it's something very special about Japanese. So
sometimes
go for it.
So Christian's saying a great way to avoid tariffs. He's right. Buying Japanese whiskey is a good way to avoid tariffs.
But the price is
If you're buying from the UK. But here's the thing. So as a whiskey enthusiast, you may want to branch out and avoid tariffs by trying other types of spirits in the same vein as whiskey.
Okay.
This is Dos Madeiras. And notice how it's almost all gone. I need to go buy another bottle. This is Dos Madeiras 5+5. I think this is my second bottle. But it's a rum that's aged for 5 years in regular rum barrels, and then it's aged for 5 years in Oloroso sherry barrels. Or PX sherry barrels? PX sherry barrels. There we go.
So why do you think it's close?
So this reminds me of Scotch because of its complexity. But what's really nice is when you have the complexity of Scotch in another type of spirit, it really helps you to differentiate, hey, oh, this is what PX tastes like with another type of spirit. Sugarcane in this instance, like, oh, this is how it affects other spirits, not just Scotch.
That joining spirit, which is sherry for us, is whiskey and stuff.
Bingo.
Okay.
So you're taking your Scotch knowledge and taking it over to another bottle. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just as delicious over here.
And this one, I think Gregor is going to...
It's like the Glendronach of rum.
Gregor's going to enjoy it, but I'm going to put this as all groups. So there are some companies where they actually use the same base spirit and then age it in different barrels. So Wonderback has 3. So their first one...
I mean, a lot of people do it.
Yeah, so just think about this, not just as Wonderback, but other companies, right? So you got one where it's like this is their core spirit, so you can kind of match this over. They have one that's aged in a rum, and one aged in a port rum.
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous for your hands.
I know. So, in my mind, for a whiskey enthusiast, it'd be great to kind of taste these flights, going through, tasting the base spirit first, understanding that, and then moving on and say, hey, what did this barrel contribute, if it did at all? Because as we all know, there's some places where like, why did they put it in a sherry, but it made no sense. Or
actually, in chat, if you guys could let us know what you think are some signs of a whiskey enthusiast, that would be amazing.
Signs of whiskey enthusiast collections like these.
No, but that's the thing. These are all signs of whiskey enthusiasts. Like you're not walking in your regular friend's house who drinks a bunch of Jim Beam and seeing an SMWS bottle on the shelf. Like it's just not going to happen. So the last bottle I have, but I have 2 more points to make about this. The last bottle I have is that if you're a whiskey enthusiast, at some point, you're going to analyze your palate. You're going to figure out what you like.
Okay.
And then you're going to try stuff outside of your wheelhouse because you realize there's other stuff out there.
Okay.
You might not like it, but you're definitely at least going to try it.
Is it Ugadal?
To make sure, like, no, this is the Corey of Reckon. Yeah. So that you're going to at least try it to see, like, okay, I love Speyside. I love sherried whiskeys, especially good sherried whiskeys.
Damn, 20%?
In European. But, like, this right here, like, I don't like it. I especially didn't like it when I first opened it. Yeah. It's a little better today, but it's not like, oh, I'm going to go drink some Corey of Reckon. It's just not going to happen.
No, I agree. Like,
it is nice to branch out.
Yeah, it is good to
nice start. No, it's not.
Be like, hey, am I missing something? Because as we all know, the Pete heads do talk and scream off the rafters how good their stuff is, and you try and get back in.
It's
but
not good.
I know Wally can't either. I try actually once or twice a year. I think I posted about something about that.
Yeah, I try more often than that. People are always like, "Oh, don't worry, your palate will." No, you just like what you like, and if you're an enthusiast, you're gonna understand other people. They're gonna like what they like, and that's cool.
Yeah, Cody, I think you missed that part, man. Yeah, we were talking about bottle proof or higher.
Oh, we definitely did. Yeah. Oh, and one huge thing that makes whiskey enthusiasts totally forgot, which just makes sense because like it's like this whole show exudes it. Whiskey enthusiasts tend to share whiskey with other people because they know other enthusiasts are going to also get really excited also.
Yeah.
So it kind of like ramps up the stoke.
It is pretty fun meeting all of you guys in person and just like sharing that passion and then growing to more of a personal friendship, just like how me and Wally kind of started too. So like having that is definitely like one of the fun things about meeting other fellow whiskey.
Absolutely.
Just because you have something in common already. The spirit, right? And then it just molds into, oh, you do this and that, and yeah.
There's a common spirit that joins us.
Yes. Aww. But yeah, that's what we think. Well, like stuff for whiskey enthusiasts. Let us know in your comments, like, what did we miss anything, or is there something that you're like, oh, they don't do this or don't do that, or they don't put ice or something? I don't know, something weird.
Cody, that's accurate. That's my life.
Yeah. Watching other people drink whiskey.
When you're literally watching a video on science about how alcohol affects different types of esters and aldehydes, like I was doing earlier, because some guy was saying some crazy stuff on Facebook. And so, like, yeah, no, I have a tendency to like want to do way too much research about like okay, so
Yeah.
why does this whiskey taste like this? Like, why? I mean, it was one of the first questions I ever had about whiskey, and I remember messaging Glenlivet and a couple other brands. I was like, wait a minute, if everybody's using wood casks, where are all these flavors coming from that I'm tasting?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
we are kind of weird. Sorry, Kristen.
Daily drinkers are weird. It depends on what you're daily drinking.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna do a photo. Let us know what's your favorite bottle of whiskey. I'd love to see it. I think with all things that are happening right now, it'd be good to see what everyone's enjoying. Oh. If you guys are drinking,
I heard
let us know
whiskey.
down in the
I heard
comments
whiskey
below.
cures the coronavirus.
Thank you again for all our Patreon supporters for helping us out. Trying to get Wally that ticket over here to Oregon so we can do some fun stuff.
No, seriously, whiskey cures the coronavirus. I read it.
And
It's got to be at least 60%.
thank you for the help and support. Cheers, everyone. And
Cheers.
what do we see on this channel?
Wait, before we stay on this channel,
Yes.
Cody, just to cover it for you one more time. Special edition IBs,
Yep.
clubs, spirits outside of their area of spirits,
High strength.
cast strength,
Yep.
hand fill, stuff
Light-
outside of your wheelhouse. That was it.
Light
That was everything.
whiskeys or like Japanese
Yeah.
whiskeys.
That was all of it, dude.
Yeah.
That was everything we covered.
Make sure to
So,
click the subscribe button. It's gonna pop out here in a couple seconds. And then on this show, what do we say?
deuces.
Deuces. Bye.